That one glorious word represents more than just the geography between the Sabine and the Rio Grande. It represents a unique idea and way of life. A life of rugged individualism, proud self-reliance, gritty toughness, and fierce independence. That is what made Texas, and that is what will save her again. Howdy, folks. Sam Houston here. I want to thank you for tuning into the Feed Bandit podcast. Feed Bandit is the Texas first outdoors brand built by rabid Texans, for rabid Texans, and all those who aim to be one someday. We unapologetically promote the ideals that shape our Texas pride and Texas first patriotism through our love of hunting, the outdoors, and the gear and apparel we create. Texas, above all else, preserve the tradition, protect the legacy. Check us out at feedbandit.com. And to repeat that great rallying cry from a former colleague of mine, liberty or death. Now, enough of my talking. Here are a couple of bandits that love Texas as much as I do. Enjoy.
All right, you faithful followers of the Feed Bandit podcast. Your buddy Corn Bandit coming back at you with another solo podcast. This one I'm pretty excited about. I do some interesting tips and tricks and stuff, and it's truly kind of a unique topic. Surprisingly, in the 2,500 years we've been doing this little program, we've actually never talked about this topic specifically, and then really kind of the details behind it. So let's just jump right into it. So we all know the future of our great lifestyle, okay? Because again, the outdoor life is outdoor hunting and fishing is not a sport, right? It's a lifestyle, naturally, okay? It's everything you do, whereas, okay, yeah, soccer, it's there, but then it's gone, you know what I'm saying? Well, hunting and fishing and, and the food and the embracing the kill and all that kind of stuff, it sticks with you. It's a long-term thing. So in order to preserve this great lifestyle of ours, we got to pass it on. And it's just as easy just to say, oh, yeah. Pass it on. Okay, that's great. Listen, we got enough cheerleaders in the world, okay? We got a lot of cheerleaders. We need some doers, right? So it is every hunter and huntsman or a huntress responsibility to enlighten their children or their friends' children or their children's children, whatever it may be. So, and that's not only just pulling the trigger, right? That is period. That is a love of, again, say it again, the lifestyle. Okay? So it's not just about, oh, hey, you got this, 90-point buck. It's everything that encompasses it. So that being said, it is also the off season, right? Because the off season is just the biggest part about hunting as the pursuit of game during the season. And the off season really is, again, we've always talked about it, very underrated. People get really sad. Oh, it's the off season. I hate my life. Blah blah blah. But in reality, the off season, which really isn't such a thing in Texas, gives you a great opportunity to get out there and explore and do those kinds of fun things. So if you're going to be doing those kinds of fun things, why don't you include your kids, okay, or your buddies' kids, or your kids and your buddies' kids, or your buddies, whatever it may be. So today's topic is going to be kids in the off season. Okay. Again, I'm kind of excited about this one because this one just kind of came to me by chance. We are doing a lack of a better phrase, daddy-daughter camp out per se at Rancho Bandito, and we are going to be taking with me, 5 dads and five girls down to the ranch, and these are all 9 and 10-year-old girls. All of them have been there before, okay, at least once. So they're relatively familiar with what we do and all that kind of stuff. But I'm a planner for the most part, so I said to myself, okay, let's have some activities. Let's figure out what exactly are we going to do. Okay, well, I know that my youngest daughter, who's going to be there, Katie, she's hooked. She knows the lifestyle. She loves it. And there's one or two others, obviously, that know it and appreciate it. But then there's two or three, I think, or it's two in particular, really don't have as much experience. Okay, and again, that's just lack of experience. Their fathers don't hunt. And so, hey, here we go. I got to kind of curtail this, this weekend, albeit an incredibly short weekend, 48 hours per se, to help them and to help kind of spread the message. Okay. So I've got 5 things here that I think are a really great way to, reinforce and or introduce the lifestyle of hunting and fishing to the kiddos. Okay. And so we're going to talk about each one of those. Okay. But we're gonna break them down a little bit too, and I'm sure I'll go off on some tangent about something here, but that's just kind of part of it. So, number 1, man, go for a ride. Okay, a lot of people just we'll just hang around the camp house. Okay, no, man, get out. Okay, chances are the people that you're taking, again, whether it be your kids or your buddy's kids, they're probably from the city. Whether it's a huge city like Dallas or a smaller city like Tyler, a city's a city. It's still got concrete, still got horns, it's still got pollution, it's still got, this and that. Take them out, man. Show them some country. And obviously, the benefits of that are, obviously, all that fresh air is good for them, okay? The other thing, of course, is just you really have a good chance of seeing some critters, okay? And that was what really got me going. Right? When I was a kid, is just driving around and seeing all the wildlife. And that's what really just kind of, got me kind of to where I am, the point where I am right now, where I still love to see deer. I still love to see turkey and birds and all that kind of fun stuff. So, get them outside. Kind of more on that. If you've got the means, man, get them an ATV, or go on a UTV. There is something about riding in a UTV, okay, or a Jeep, whatever it may be, something that's not your day-to-day vehicle, that really kind of it releases endorphins. It gets people excited. In my opinion, it does kind of put you a little bit closer to nature. I put the windshield up. Especially if it's a nice day, and I let the air hit you, and man, it's just it's great. It's intoxicating. It is so relaxing. So again, if you've got the means, if you've got a UTV, oh God, I know it's a pain in the ass putting on a trailer and all that, but guess what? It's worth it. Obviously, you don't want to jack up your primary vehicle, and if you're going to do this, man, if you're going to get your kids or whomever you're taking. You're going to get them out there, in the bush. Go for it, dude. Go for it. Take a UTV out there. It's kind of funny. My co-host is going to be going up to his family property, which is probably about 6 hours away, I believe. It's a haul, but his son will be going with him for a turkey hunt, and he absolutely is going to be getting an ATV. Now he's got to kind of rent. I think he's got to rent a trailer from U-Haul. Or whatever it may be, but it's worth it because A, he doesn't want to jack up his vehicle, and B, he can go a lot more places with that thing, and C, his son loves it, so obviously well worth the trouble. If you're going to go on a ride, listen, going on a ride, no matter what time you go at, is going to be great, but if you're really going out there to see wildlife, you gotta put your mind, you gotta put yourself in the mind of a hunter. You got to think about where you are, at 4:00 during deer season, AKA, you're an hour or so before dark, right? So, you need to be thinking about that as well. You know, if it's the middle of July and you're driving around at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, which, hey, again, driving around is driving around, whether it be at 1 o'clock or in the evening, may not be the best time to see critters. So, if you're limited in when you can get out, obviously pick the more popular time to go out and see animals. So, obviously a lot of fun. It's interesting, and you'll see this list right here has got nothing to do with harvesting an animal. Okay, again, that's not all what the off season is. Of course, one of the things I don't have on this list, of course, is you can go shoot hogs, you can go shoot axis, right? But there's more to that. There's more to it than just that. Okay, so point number 2, go for a hike. Yeah, go for a hike. God knows, and boy, this guy right here needs it big time. Everybody needs some exercise, right? Get out. Okay, put your snake boots on and get out and go do some exploring. So much can be seen from walking around as opposed to being on, even in a UTV. UTV, I think, arguably, you can see a hell of a lot more than you can when you're driving around a truck or whatnot. Okay, but get out of that vehicle. Go somewhere that you've driven past during deer season or quails or whatever it may be, and say, I'm going there. And if you really want to get crafty, okay, and you can find it on the property that you're on, go to Google Maps. Yeah, go to Google Earth and actually look at it. And so kind of have a goal. All right, I'm going to try to get back here. Some of those mapping apps that you've got this day and age, they actually give you can actually go mark it, and they can, take you to where you want to go. I know a lot of elk hunters and all that kind of use that kind of stuff. But, hey, take your little buddy or your little buddies on a little trip. Go for a hike. Not only are you see new places and all that kind of stuff, but especially this time of year, you also have a real good chance of running into a shed antler. Kids love finding shed antlers. You know what I'm saying? That is a really, 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 really cool thing. And right now, being that it's very early April, antlers, if they fall in a normal time, they're still relatively dark, easy to find. Yeah, we just had spring green up, but the grass isn't like it is, in June, especially if we get the rain, right? So this is a great time to get out there, explore some new places, and potentially find a little prize. What a memory. And that's all this takes, okay? That's all it takes is just one or two positive experiences to change somebody's life. That's freaking powerful, man. That is powerful. And that is what the power of nature can do. It did it for me, okay? I sound like the president and CEO of Hair Club for Men, right? I was going to say George Zimmer, but that's the Men's Warehouse.
Hey folks, Sam here, cutting in real quick to give you a heads up about some Bandit gear. If you haven't noticed, here at Feed Bandit we're both avid outdoorsmen, and we love Texas. Well, the Bandits got a wild hair one day, and thought, since polite company expects us to wear shirts on a normal basis, why not just make some rags of our own? But not any shirt with a basic print and a logo. A special polo shirt with a unique print that will turn heads and start conversations. One that was super comfortable that could be worn anywhere, from the boardroom, at relaxed companies of course, to the deer camp. So from that simple-minded Spitz Implements-esque idea, camp polos were born, probably over a few beers as well if I'm a betting man. They've made some that are hunting themed, some Texas pride themed, and some more on the rebellious side. Whichever camp polo you choose, at the very least you're guaranteed to be asked, where the hell did you get that polo? You'll turn heads, no doubt. Check them out at feedbanditgear.com. That's feedbanditgear.com. Now back to the bandits.
Okay, number 3, go fishing. All right, that's kind of a no-brainer. I was kind of thinking on my list, like for me, typically during deer season, we don't go fish. During dove season, we really don't do a lot of fishing. We're doing other things. I mean, primarily, let's face it, watching football, right? Watching Tech absolutely obliterate the enemy. God willing, 2025 will be the year. We'll see. But man, go fishing. Okay. Here's another thing. Well, okay, Richard, I do that. It's a great idea, Richard. You're brilliant. But I do that, man. We go fishing all the time, and my kid loves it. And it's really, really fun. Okay. Go fishing somewhere else. All right. You'd be surprised. Again, going to go back to our old Googler here. We're going to go on to Google Maps and look for creeks. Okay. Look for creeks. Look for places and take a fly rod or take light tackle. Okay. And go on a hike/fishing trip. Holy smokes. Now, how about that for fun? And I've done that at Rancho Bandito. We are blessed to have a lot of live water. And I have done that. I've gone to creeks and we have caught little sunfish and whatnot on light tackle, and it's just, man, it is so cool. It is very, very Texas. Okay, one of our old hunting leases also had a really big creek. It was called Blue Hole, and beautiful. I don't know why it was called Blue Hole, but it was. And I never did. We did try to fish there one time, no luck, but apparently it was pretty deep and it was full of catfish, allegedly. Didn't catch anything, but still really, 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 really cool. Okay, so yeah, change it up. If go fishing, okay? Go fishing. I think that is a really good one. Okay, number 4, this is an obvious one. Okay, go shoot, right? Go shoot some guns, man. I mean, the more we can educate our children or your buddies' children or your buddies or whom, I know I'm being redundant when I keep saying that, but it's true. Okay, think outside of your family. The more we can teach them about our lifestyle, the better off we are all going to be. Okay, show them gun safety. Okay, all that kind of fun stuff. If I were you, a couple of tips I do with kiddos. And when we're talking all kinds of kiddos, we're talking all kinds of kiddos, all ranges of age children is what I was getting at. We do everything from beer cans that we shook up, okay, old beer cans naturally, to pumpkin, to fruit. If oranges aren't $9 a bundle, get some oranges out there, some watermelons, and it's so fun to watch those 22s go blast through those things. And it's a really, really good time. Advice for you, okay, with kids, all right, obviously, and shoot, for adults as well. Comfort is king, right? So if you want to make it a long-term outing, okay, and it's starting to get warm, middle of the day type of thing, and you don't have any shade, if you happen one of those pop-up tents they sell at Academy or some of these other stores, go, if you got one there, which if you do any long-term like bank fishing, I highly recommend getting one anyway. Keep sun off you. Get one of those, pop it up, park the vehicle. If you have a UTV, park the UTV under there. Everybody's in the shade, keeps the guns cool, and you'll be out there a hell of a lot longer than you would without it. So again, go shoot guns. That is always something fun to do, and gives the kids something to gloat about. Another thing that I like to do is when you do targets can be a little boring, right? But one of the things I do enjoy doing is actually taking those targets and putting the kid's name on there and the date, all that kind of fun stuff. It's a little trophy they can put on their wall. Obviously, you don't want to hand them a obliterated beer can or something like that. You cut their little digits. Okay, 5th and final point. I think you can do something you can do in the off season with the people that I've been talking about this entire little podcast here. Go support small town Texas, baby. Okay. Now this one could be a little challenging. Okay, because if your hunting property is, an hour away from town, okay, well, that may not work. All right. But if it's not, if it's close, or if you're spending multiple days there hunting, okay, go into town, man. Go see what it's got to offer. Go in the grocery store. Go walk around. Go to the feed store. Okay, that's what we love to do. A lot happening at the feed store. Get to know those kinds of people. They're assets, man. I mean, they're the people who live and breathe out there. And obviously, it's always good to become familiar with the folks at your local feed store because they can help you out in the bind. Can't get out there and fill your fears. I guarantee you, if they don't have a listed service that does that, I guarantee you they would do it for you. So get out, man. Go show the folks we've been talking about the other side of Texas. Okay, that's not 18 trillion tons of concrete. That's not 40 news stations and murders here and there and all that kind of stuff that we have to kind of deal with in the city. Show them a different side of our great state. And while you're there, grab lunch, grab dinner, grab breakfast. Obviously, that is something that was the whole point of us starting this whole thing back in the day, was to support small town Texas. That was our rallying cry, and that is what's still near and dear to our heart today. So yeah, off season offers you a lot of opportunities to get involved with your kiddos and really start building those memories, start building that desire. And if your kiddos are little fanatics like me, you will eventually hit something that really, really sticks with them, and it's going to make a difference. And boy, that is great. And then if you have done that, you are a hero, my friend. You are absolute hero. You have done your job. Of course, it's always going. It never stops, right? You have done your job in preserving our lifestyle for future generations. Now, of course, the one thing you got to tell them is, okay, little Joey or little Jenny, I've done this for you. Now it's your turn to do it, right? So a lot of responsibility, but man, it can sure be fun. So anyways, moral of the story is get those kids out during hunting season, but God, get them out during the off season. Lots of fun to be had, lots of memories to be made, that's for sure. That is going to do it for this one. So as we always like to say, go support your local feed store and go Texas, baby.
Well, I hope the Bandits gave you an interesting episode that either entertained or educated you. Or better yet, both. Hell, I told them this podcasting thing looks harder to do than defeating Santa Anna. So if you would, please help them out by sharing it with all your like-minded friends to help the Bandits get the word out. And don't forget to check us out at feedbandit.com and grab some gear and apparel to support the cause of Texas. Remember, Texas, above all else, preserve the tradition, protect the legacy. Finally, as I said some time ago on the eve of the great battle, and I vigorously repeat here again, be men, be free men, that your children may bless their father's name. Well, fellow bandit, until next time.